Yo, what is up, you guys? What is up, you guys? Yo, Alchemist Ganjier here, and welcome to another episode of Enki's Canna-Cult. Um, man, uh, was how's it go? He is risen. Yes. Yeah, yeah. I hope everyone had a really good Easter weekend. For those of you guys who missed out on me last week, I apologize. There was a series of technical difficulties that kind of intermingled with like some personal stuff, and it just ended up not happening. Yo, what's up, Cindy Dominguez? What's up, Ultra Nugget Gamer? What up, Adala? Yeah, yeah. Hope you guys are having an awesome Monday. Yeah, and if you're not having an awesome Monday for whatever reason, we're about to because it is time to sesh. Yeah, like some really, really interesting stuff going on the last few days. I mean, like, we're hearing news about a new documentary for cannabis. Yay, 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 coming on about. Um, but also a Canna-U-haul bust that happened in West LA within like the last week. And then, of course, some breaking news that apparently us here in our lovely state of Virginia, according to some, or at least like one particular Axios article, is that we have the most expensive medical marijuana in the country, at least so they say. Now, I'm going to, we're going to examine those claims a little bit more closely. But, while we're getting into some of these things and kind of just like getting into a little bit of a chill sesh here, we're going to be checking out a new breeding project from our very own Dewey's Cannabis. I'm very, very excited. I see lots of like Dewey, like he grows just an amazing grower. He runs lots of different things. He's run many things that I've seen before, just like really, really well. He's introduced me to a lot of cultivars. The Bahama Bust Down, just like, oh my gosh. um, but I've never actually tried anything that was a part of his own like breeding projects, and like I really hope I'm not mistaken here, but I was pretty sure I understood this correctly. Is that we're going to be checking out today this Hurricane Zushi as a part of one of his breeding projects. Now I'm a little shaky on the genetic background like on this here. I do know that like the one parent is a blue Zushi and yellow Zushi cross. So that's like, like the little like green Zushi action, I guess, like on the one parent. And then for the other parent, for the Hurricane, it's a Slurricane hybrid. I do not remember what the the Slurricane was crossed with, and because it might just be Slurricane, but like a pheno of it. But it's evading me right now. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at this Hurricane Zushi, and then check out some of the deets like with this Canna-U-haul bust, shall we? Huh? Um, yes, your whizzes, Harry. Um, what is up, guys? What is up? Now, oh my gosh, this Hurricane Zushi. On the nose, I immediately get hit with this like combo of like a very subtle sweet cream and a kind of like leathery, varnishy type of aroma. There's this like that effervescence that kind of goes in and it's almost like cooling like into your mid nostril. Um, and like maybe like this like hint of like a like a star anise. Um, like very, very nice. Very nice. Has this nice like clean like open aroma with it. Um, Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this uh under a little bit of a closer examine, you know. Let's see, what do we got here? Da, da, da. Okay, okay, y'all ready? Let's switch it over. Yeah. All right. So some nice looking. There's a couple of different. Yeah, there we go. A couple of different representations. So this looks like to be one of like the larger size of the nugs. So good form there. Really like the way the bracts are laid out on this. Nice, nice feel to it. It's got a good firm, but like not too much. That got that good bounce back on it. Yeah. Looking at some decent frost coverage here. Yeah, a little bit of that sugar leaf action, but y'all know how I feel about that. That's just protecting the goods. Just protecting the goods. You know. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. So this is another nug. Oh yeah, really really nice. That's just wonderful bounce on that. Wonderful bounce. Um, okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and see how she is looking underneath the microscope. All right, let's see. Yeah, ching. Really really pretty. Beautiful, beautiful structure on it. Not seeing any signs of contaminant. Oops, sorry guys. No, let's see. It's a little something there, but looks like it might be part of a leaf or a branch. But here, let's. Yeah. Yeah, that was like a part of like a leaf tip that broke that like that was like probably got snipped or something, um, and then got caught in a bud. But yeah, this is looking really lovely. The pistil formation on here is great. The trichome structuring, we're seeing a good deal of like light, clear, some cloudy, wonderful intactness. Um, this one might have wanted to go a little bit longer, um, but at the same time though, really liking the way that the trichome heads look overall. Um, but you know that's also this is a breeding project, so this didn't really come with a like, hey, this should go for this long. It's kind of like let's feel it out and see where we go from there. All right, now y'all know with that sugar leaf back here, you know that we're gonna have to like pull it off. Like that just goes without saying. All right. Very lovely. Oh yeah, see, look at that. That's just wow. Yeah, buddy. Look at that little mess of trichomes right there. Yeah. whole bunch of clear ones. But at the same time, though, depending on how this goes, because a slurricane, from what I recall, is a pretty relaxing cultivar, and like blue Zushi can be a more relaxing cultivar. Um, so the fact that like this is done a little it's a little sooner, that might have a little more energy to this. This might not be as heavy as we might typically expect. But hey, let's see how this goes. Because remember, everything is just like a factor. That there's no like one single thing that says yay or nay about something. And honestly, up to this point, everything else has seemed really good, really good. So let's go ahead and here we'll fade her back. Yep, and go ahead and start breaking down one of these other nugs. Now, what is everyone else token on this evening? Yeah, and also, has anyone here in the chat tried Slurricane or either or any of the Zushis before? If so, what were your general thoughts of it? Because there's a lot of hype around just the Zushi line in general. This was one of the first cultivars that I ever heard of, people paying over $1,000 for an ounce. That was something that was just kind of wild to me. All right. Okay. Good breakdown on it. Now the aroma didn't evolve too much. Honestly, low key, this kind of this smell reminds me a lot of Zushi. It does. It reminds me a lot of blue Zushi. Now that with this broken down, that has this kind of almost kind of cushy, kind of it has this kind of general weed smell. There's that anise that's still there. There's a little bit of vegetal, a little bit of that varnish, a little bit of that gas, a little just a little sweet. There's a lot of things going on there, but that it's one of those things that just Zushi, blue Zushi was one of those aromas and flavors that never really jumped out and was just whoa, that's so crazy. But it just its effects were just really nice. It's just a nice full-on body and head effect. Let's see what the stick is on this. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we can go ahead and let's see, pick all that up. Yeah, that's. Ooh, wait a minute. There's a seed. Yeah, well, breeding. I guess that's what we have with breeding projects. All right. So there's a little bit of it. There's a little seed action there. Yeah, I think that is probably the first time I have ever seen a seed in any of Dewey's work. But at the same time, this is the first breeding project that I've ever seen, from Dewey. So it's one of the things I feel should be expected. Now, of course, I am not someone who judges seeds harshly, unless of course it's a situation we had with the Slimer way back or something like that, when there's a lot of seeds going on. Which actual fun update. The grower of the Slimer, Mr. Rudy, has done another run of the Slimer. They said there's still seeds in it, but there's a lot less, and it might be enough for there might be in such a situation that we can actually try it out. So I got another sample of it, and we're going to be checking that out again soon. So I'm very, very excited about that one. Because I really like the smell on it, and just and Rudy is just overall a really this talented grower. So I always enjoy trying his stuff. All right, so yeah, see, we got that. I feel that's decent enough to start. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Y'all approve? Yes. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's do this. Um, oh boy. Yeah. Now, yeah. So for those of you guys who are watching, like the phone, like on your phones or vertically, like I have integrated a new feature that allows like for the screen to actually present appropriately for you. So very very cool. I hope that it has been you guys have been enjoying it. Let me know if it's been buggy or anything because it's like a new feature as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, let's go ahead and hit this. Hurricane Zushi, grown and bred by Dewey's Cannabis. Yeah, let's get it, guys. Yeah, let's make sure to always burn off the sulfur first. Yeah. All right. Cheers, y'all. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah. Oh boy. That is. That is. Yeah. That is something. All right. That is something. Whoo boy. Whoo boy. um. Smooth. The flavor honestly reminds me a lot of sushi. Reminds me a lot of sushi where like the flavor's not really like super stand out on it. Like it's smooth weed. It's got this kind of a hoppy, not quite hoppy. Oh yeah, a little hoppy. Like kinda like an IPA kind of flavor. You know, like that humulene. Um, there's like a like kind of like that like the like almost like baking bread a little bit. Um, and then there's like this like hashy, mm, almost like salvia like back on it. It's interesting. It's really really interesting. And also I'm like already noticing the effects. The effects like are immediate with it. I am like yeah, very much so. So that's that part's um yeah, wow, wow, very noticeable. It's like a pretty strong head change. Um, yeah, this is good. This we'll you know let the effects settle in a bit. You know, see how we're doing. See how we're doing in a few. Um, now, so yeah, where to start? Yeah, this guys. So okay, like the headline caught me, right? You know, cannabis plants found after U-Haul driver disregards the California Transit Authority like closure area in LA. So like basically what happened from what I understand is that like the like California state troopers were near or like observing like a roadway that was going into like a construction zone closure, you know, where you know like it was like and they're not like the part I'm not entirely certain about if this is like a like the like a road was closed or like an area was closed for construction. Either way, they see a U-Haul truck just kind of just like disregarding the road closures and driving like right on through. Um, like and granted uh, okay, but like so they see that and they decide you know like hey we're gonna go like follow them and pull them over. So the troopers pull over this U-Haul truck and apparently they observed quote unquote indicators of criminal activity, whatever that means. Like and they used that as a reason to like search the vehicle. And now, like for those who are in like the Roanoke area and whatnot, we're used to like road closures and whatever. Like it could be a situation like that, like over by Carillion or whatever, where it says like road closed. Um, but when they opened up this truck, like the back of this truck, in the pictures, they're just boxes and boxes, like Home Depot boxes, like full of clones and like cocoa like core and like it looks like they were getting ready to go set up like an operation. Like they didn't find like a bunch of they didn't find like pounds of weed. They found like hundreds and hundreds of plants. Like there is some illegal state somewhere that 6 months from now was about to get some weed grown in like either like a half built like a building or like off the side of the road of a sewerway. Like when I first saw this, like my mind kind of imagined those aquifer or aqueduct like rivers that go through LA, like the man-made river thing, like where you have people like in all those movies like driving in like in Terminator 2 and stuff. I'm sitting there thinking like, bro, like are they over there like trying to like grow weed like off in one of these like waterway areas? But and they really they say in the report that they don't say anything about where the location was or even when it happened. Just that it happened on April 6th, right? So, but yeah, so they find like a ton of plants. In fact, here, let me see if I can because I'm looking at the picture right now. Let's see if I can pull it up, if I can like pull it up to share with you guys. Um, ba ba ba. Yeah, actually, I think I can. Um, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, here, hold up. Yeah. Look at that. Like just boxes, just boxes. Yo, like they were ready to go. They were ready to go, guys. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Yo, what up, Roger? How you doing? How you doing, Mr. Mud? Yo, we are riding on this Hurricane Zushi right now, bud. There's a breeding project from Dewey's Cannabis, and I gotta say, like, I don't know if he plans on propagating the genetics at all, but I mean, it might be worth genetic worthwhile getting a hold of. Now, oh shoot, so yeah, now, of course the guy driving the truck got arrested. They didn't release any information about that and that person. They were just taken in custody. The plants were seized. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it on the story. I did some other searches about it, and I didn't really find much more. But I thought it was yeah, that was crazy. That this is just one of those instances though when where you wonder where is the weed coming from that is being shipped and this and that, and yeah, some of it could be getting backdoored from grow facilities and whatnot, but in a lot of cases there's a dude driving a U-Haul truck full of plants into into a construction an area that's closed for construction and they growing some shit. Which I mean, yeah, guerrilla growing's been going on since forever and ever, right? Yeah, but that's crazy though. That's crazy. I really wonder what was it that he was doing, that made that the indicators of criminal activity. Like, I mean, what if this is one of those situations where this was one of those ISIS type deals situations where they pulled the person over and they were I don't know. No, no, no. I'm not gonna speculate, but like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should speculate. No, but like, I want to know if this like how many cultivars like that were in there. Like, was there anything like worthwhile? Like, cause I mean, some of these plants look pretty healthy. Um, yeah. Okay. So, right. Moving on. This this Hurricane Zushi is coming in, and I would like say it's almost in its full force like right now. Um, I feel a lot of energy in my chest with along this like full body kind of high that feels like just a tiny bit racy. So I would say that this one would probably want to go a little bit longer just for the sake that I think Zushi is like a more potent cultivar in general. Or like the Zushi like line lineage. Hold on, I'm going to like look up the Zushi like real quick first. Wow, actually, yeah, that's a. I mistakenly called it more of a like a hybrid earlier, but I mean honestly, it's like it leans like it's supposed to lean more on the relaxing side. Um, and don't actually. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So like it tends to run around like 25%. So that's not like terribly high. I mean I think I was like partially maybe expecting it to be like even higher than that. Um, but yeah, there's a different like energy in the chest that I would associate with a cultivar and that might want it a little more tanky. That feels like just a little bit racy. Um, let's see. Now I'm like I pulled up Slurricane, but then I just remembered that this is a Slurricane like a hybrid. So like pulling up Slurricane actually doesn't really mean like dick at this point. Well, actually, here I'm gonna pull up Yellow Zushi. Yeah, that one I know is also in this mix. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, another one that like it's similar. It's like similar trade. Like actually, there isn't like much talk about like the potency on that one. Yeah, actually, this one is actually like very like underreported on. Interesting. Uh, I mean, I mean, come to think of it, I mean, I've only tried blue sushi. I've I feel like I've seen other people review yellow sushi or just another sushi, but like maybe Eric Kahn, but this would be like years ago. I would have to go back and like look at what he said about that. Which I mean, hey, yeah, like check it out. I'm sure like yellow sushi, Eric Kahn, like that'll pull up something. Um, but yeah, the way this is hitting though, I mean, even as I'm like talking about it and like looking into it and whatnot, like that energy in my chest is like kind of like subsiding, you know, and there's like still this like overall kind of body effect, and I feel it definitely like behind the eyes, like in the temple a bit. Yeah, this is a nice full high. Like I would say that like with how it feels, I probably would have took a little bit less of it, like maybe packed a little bit of a smaller bowl. This one like is a little like it's got like, it wasn't it's a fatty, but it was definitely like a larger bowl. Um, yeah, we'll see how this rolls like in the next bit to see if we actually took another one because like if I find myself wanting to toke another one, like before we get to the end of this, like then, like yeah, it might be an indicator it's a little early, cause like like the high not having of a full stay. Cause right now this feels intense enough to like I'm good. um, cause I feel like this would just get like ooh, like if I kept pushing on it, gotta respect the flower that you're using, feel like this too often. Now that we're in a space with so many other cultivars and such access to different like qualities and people like pushing a cultivar for different reasons, because that's something that people don't really take into account is that you might have someone that's like trying to like boost different aspects of the plant and like when you and like there's a point where like THC like pushing like and I'm not saying that's what like is here, but like in general like with like a lot of like breeders out there like with whoever like was going after Blue Zushi originally, like who created that line. Like I don't know what they were going for. They might have been like I'm looking for something really potent, like and like potent in terms of like THC. Because potency is like a whole different thing. Somebody blew my mind the other day. And it's one of those things where like cannabis has been around for so long that there's certain things that like are kind of enshrined like within knowledge, but then there's also aspects where we have to realize that like over time certain things have fallen under the umbrella of like bro science, where it's like people say it but we don't actually have like a body of evidence supporting it. Like is it truly even the argument is this anecdotal or is this like not even anecdotal type like talk, right? And and as we kind of develop our body of knowledge in a proper sense, we have to kind of like deal with like certain things that have become like enshrined that like also like don't really apply when you actually try to like be rigorous about it in terms of defining it. Like for example, like just a brief example, like people talk about strain, right? Or like God like forbid like strand. But like strain, like in the whole like like oh that's bacteria, like not really like this or that, or like and people say like cultivar, and I mean, and I am someone who will use the word cultivar, although like I have gotten away from or at least I've tried to from the whole like oh you should say cultivar, like people are gonna say what they'll say, and eventually that like as long as the end part translates, but there are other things that like don't don't accommodate so easily because they come with connotations, like associating THC percentage with potency, or THCA percentages with potency, and I mean legitimately the word potency, because potency comes from a world of two different worlds, and that world has kind of evolved. Like the original world that it came from, the old world of medicine, like where it could be indicative of the strength of the effects of this thing, right? When you talk about potency, but now that we're in an age where we have things that tell us numbers, and in the world of alcohol, like potency means like a strength or a bigness of a certain number, or even with probiotic cultures, right? It's a really potent probiotic. It's got 300 billion CFUs. This is potent hot sauce. It's a million Scovilles. Or this is potent alcohol. This is 90% alcohol. Well, that's the thing, is that when you have let's talk about alcohol for a moment. When you have something with alcohol in the potency, it makes sense because alcohol is literally the only thing you're measuring in it. That's it. You're not measuring the amount of lavender that's in that lavender Bacardi or whatever. I don't drink anymore, so I don't know what's out there. But you you're not measuring anything else, and it's just how strong is it. And then of course beyond that, even in the world of alcohol, people know that you don't buy based off of potency because Everclear is not more expensive than Grey Goose, right? That there is that tequila, that pink that pink medicine tequila stuff, tequila rose or whatever. It's pretty pricey, even though it's it doesn't have a high alcohol percentage in it, but it tastes good, and all this other stuff. People understand and identify that there's flavors, there's other aspects to enjoying the experience. But where things get kind of muddy is that at the end of the day, the higher the percentage of it, the more intoxicated you're going to get, and the more quickly it's going to happen too. like with like like relatively similar quantities being consumed. Um, well, cannabis, like this is where it kind of falls apart entirely, right? And that is because with cannabis, we're not just measuring one thing, and we know that. Now, granted, there are like no we, that like we are on, like there's only one thing being measured, but when our bodies are taking it in, right? Like our bodies are subscribing more to the old school effect of things. It's not like one molecule. It's not one thing that's like making us feel a certain way. It's not just the THC, right? If that were the case, then like it would also be very consistent across the board. Like, oh, the higher the THC, the higher the potency of the effect. But then it doesn't account for the other cultivars out there, the random ones like sour diesel, for example, that like regularly test with for really low THC, but oftentimes has a greater impact than cultivars that like test at nearly 30%. Um, and like to that like extent, it's we like comes a recognition of like, oh, there's like, well, this other cannabinoid called THCP. Like there's like there's there's CBD that can also modulate effect. There's like CBG. There's THCV. There's like there's THC, like like all kinds of like variants, like different cannabinoids. Um, and all of these cannabinoids have like different impacts, and then of course, like when you bring into the fact that all of these cannabinoids, the way that they interact with our endocannabinoid system, also open up a huge door to sensory influences. And when sensory influences like come kind of baked into that package, like something that smells floral like has a certain sensory impact that's different than something that smells fruity. And while that could vary a little bit from person to person, we all as humans have like a similar kind of general effect, right, of similarity, right? You've got the cilantro people out there that are like, that's soapy, but most people think mango, like respond to mango pretty much the same way if they don't have a like an allergic reaction to it. Like most people like have a similar concept for things like that, and because we all have a fairly similar olfactory and like flavor like system, and through that, those strong sensory inputs like then create a huge other nuance in like how cannabis affects, because of all those cannabinoids triggering our endocannabinoid system into this like kind of like a psychoactive cascade. They have the entourage effect, right? Like, and when you get to that point, like potency, when just talking about like, oh, this is 30% THC, this is potent, like, no, that doesn't make any sense anymore. Like when like you start to take into consideration all these other factors, right? Because if I'm on like something that's like 30% like THC, and like I'm only like meaningfully like high off of it for like 30 minutes, but like I was like token on some stuff that's like 20% that like felt a little bit stronger and also lasted for like an hour and a half. Which one's more potent? you know, like, and it's one of those things where grant like like we have to make sure that we align things up, and by and large, right, like THC percentage does offer a relative like comparison, like a standard of sorts, like for like how much something's going to impact. But it's one of those things that like we definitely can't take by itself, by any means. In fact, it should never be the first thing that's brought up when talking about like a potency of a cultivar, or like what someone's looking like with regards for what someone's looking for, because there's so many other factors. Like it's and like the sensory one is a big one, because when you bring in your sense of smell into the equation, like that has the ability to play a heavy influence onto like all of the other things we're experiencing, because like when we're consuming cannabis, what we're seeing around us like plays into how the cannabis will affect us, what we're feeling around us, if we're hot or if we're cold, like if we're comfortable, uncomfortable, like how we're thinking about things around us, like how we feel about the people we're hanging with or about the environment that we're in, what we're hearing around us, right? and like all of these, like those are a lot of senses that are a little more easily identified. But smell, we smell things all the time so much that we kind of learn to like ignore those things, right? But that's the thing with aroma, is that just because we ignore it doesn't mean that it's not impacting us. And because aroma has such a strong impact on on our recall centers, like our on and like how we remember things, combined with the fact that cannabis can sometimes have a little like slippery effect with our memory, it creates this instance where like the aromas, like whatever dominant aromas you're being hit with, are going to be basically like, putting you on all kinds of like different paths and trajectories, as it stimulates, like, like those different like cross references, like through smells. um like it's so, I mean, yeah. And how we experience something really can play a major impact on what we even call potent, right? And how often have we been in this instance where we've been smoking, like, like some like a cannabis, or like doing a dab or whatever, and you're thinking to yourself like, man, this doesn't really like feel all that strong. Or maybe you got like you're consuming, like, and then you got locked in on something you were working on, whatever, and then you stop for a minute to maybe go get a drink, and you're like thinking to yourself, yeah, maybe I'll smoke a little more when I come back, and then you get up and walk away, and you're like, oh man, oh, I'm actually way more stoned than I realized, right? And like, it took like the transition to like kind of process, like, like how like stuff was impacting. um, and like, it's like this can like kind of have this like same like relative impact, as we apply to like, like smells and aromas coming in. Man, I can't remember where I was going with all that. But I hope it was informative. But yeah, so like, the Zushi line, interesting. I mean, the smoke is like this like it's pretty good. Um, like the energy that I feel from it, like, that was like in my chest. I was able to like put it to work while like, like explaining all that like stuff just there. And like, that's like a good like, like type of like effect, because like that's something that I feel like we don't always appreciate with like cannabis as well, is that like a lot of times if we kind of like lean into some of those feelings that like that we have from it, like if something's feeling really heavy, right, it's kind of easy to be like, all right, I'll just go and like lay down, like, and take a nap. But like sometimes when you got that energy in your chest, when it's feeling a little bit racy, like actually doing something that like harnesses that, like taps into that, like can like allow it to kind of like help with that regulation. And that's largely through the fact that our endocannabinoid system is like our homeostasis like regulatory system. It's like our synaptic attenuation system. It helps to make sure that everything stays like within homeostasis, like, right, it predates our immune systems. um, there's a study that came out like last year. I shared it a while back, that like talked about like how like there's very strong evidence that shows that like that before we had and our own, like, before we had dedicated like immune systems, like we relied on our endocannabinoid system as a proto immune system. Through like, tracing like, evolutionary paths back to like, like the earliest divergence where you don't see creatures with endocannabinoid systems, right? It goes back to like when we were still trying to develop an immune system. um like it's like very cool, very cool. Yeah, so um yeah, Jimmy Kimmel, right? Hate him, love him, like however you feel about him, right? Like, he is at least trying to do something with, the cannabis space. And apparently, there is like this new documentary that he is like producing through his studio and putting on Hulu. Called like four times 20 quick hits, or 420 quick hits. And like, I mean, like the whole, I mean, the title's pretty smart, right? Because it's like 420, and it like, and what it is like 4 20-minute little documentaries. Um, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Because like, okay, what is this going to be about? Like this could be kind of cool, like whatnot. Especially because the way they're talking about this, they're talking about this. It's an anthology series covering the world's most beloved plant. Um, And like it can they were like Christmas has a whole cable channel dedicated to holiday programming. For 420 we made 4 20-minute long documentaries for those who celebrate the trees of a different kind. And I'm like, all right, let's see what it's about. Let's see what it's about, right? And so these four videos, right? These four documentaries is highly unlikely. The one's called Highly Unlikely, which is basically like a behind the scenes of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Um, a a documentary about High Times, like which and like I guess like the founder of High Times and like how he like like just did that whole thing. Um, the one about the legend of Gonjasaurus Rex, which like I am real embarrassed to say I haven't seen. But this is like it's about the 1987 like film Gonjasaurus Rex and like how it became such a local legend like in California. I know like people, please don't come for me. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. And then also Bon Voyage, which is like a story about Jason Harris, like a very famous like glass blower, like and I don't know exactly like how to feel about it a little bit because there's a part of me that's kind of like I was expecting something a little different, but then at the same time like I'm like it's think it's going to be really interesting nonetheless. And there's also a part of me that's kind of frustrated that like I canceled my Hulu subscription not that long ago because I was kind of getting like I wasn't watching anything on there. Like and literally as soon as I do it, they're like, "Hey, guess what? We got something on here specifically you might want to see." So I don't know. I might have to bring it back for like a month or something. I don't know. I don't know. Like or just go over to someone's house that's like that has it. Um, but yeah, well, like yeah, we're definitely gonna like check it out. Heck, maybe even actually, I don't know if this is something you can watch party. Like, I don't know how the like copyright stuff on that works, but yeah, no. I mean, personally, I think I'm gonna check it out. There are a lot of people, celebrities hyping it up. Like, I'm sure that there is like some controversy like over it, just because like there has been over like all of that stuff like as of late. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna check it out. We're gonna check it out. Um, now, uh, so I was like just like cruising Reddit the other day, and I saw this article that was like talking about like like medical like weed prices, like, and it was like VA medical like weed like highest in the U.S. And I was like, huh, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they say like veteran medical weed like prices rank highest in U.S. like that? Like none of that sentence made sense. And then like I looked deeper and it was like they were talking about Virginia. Like now I go duh, but like that's the thing though is I was like, wait, what? Virginia? Virginia? Like how? What? Like, I mean, I know they'd be taxing. Like, I heard that like there are some like there's some like $300 plus like ounces, at like in rise and stuff like that. Like, but like in that like the highest in the whole country, and I was just like, well, okay, well, I mean, I like I guess maybe because in other states like their medical programs are a lot like cheaper. I guess like I don't know, but like I mean it's definitely not that. I mean I like cuz like I was just talking about like the blue Zushi, and that's actually like one of the reasons that pushed me to like, hey, let's do the Hurricane Zushi this time, because like blue Zushi in both California and in New York were selling for like $1,000 an ounce, and I know there ain't no $1,000 ounces. They're not even any $500 ounces. Like I would be surprised if there was a $400 ounce at any dispensary in Virginia, like but I mean, hey, if you guys have seen, like, what, like, tell me, like, if you guys been to a Virginia like medical dispensary, tell me, like, how expensive, like, were the ounces that like y'all saw, um, but like, but like, in the article, what they said is that like right now, like Virginia patients pay just over $10 a gram on average for medical flower, which like it's about like 280 an ounce, or 70 a quarter, um, like 35 an eighth, which I mean, that like. I mean, it's not like I wouldn't call that like, oh, those are like super cheap, but like I mean it's not also not expensive either, like so I'm not really sure what that like what that was like really about, and then it goes on to talk about like how like in California and Colorado, like their cheapest weed was like $2.30 and $3.30 per gram, and I'm like, ew. Ew. Like what? Like $2 and like I'm gonna round up to 250. $2.50 a gram. Okay, that is five, seven fifty, like $8 and 75 cents for an eighth like of weed. And I know that there's gonna be some of you guys out there to be like, "Whoa, man, that would be awesome to get weed that cheap." Like, y'all gotta understand, like this weed would be you like no matter how bad of a grower you are, your weed would be better. Like this would be like just like like a mile below Milwaukee best. Like this would be like beneath yeah, Milwaukee Beast. Oh yeah, Beast. Like like below Natty Ice. This would be like, oh, like this would, guys, this would be stuff that like probably should just be made into edibles. Like, and then they wouldn't even be very strong edibles. This is the type of weed that would give you a headache. Like just because you'd be smoking so much carbon. I would like, I mean, either that or it's guaranteed remediated, and like there is study after study that coming out showing that remediation does not fully remediate. It just makes them like pass a little more easily, but um, we're still seeing like stuff like it. You just can't roll the dice with that stuff. Um, yeah, so I thought that was pretty crazy. I think that's like generally like kind of a hype, because even in the article itself later on, like they acknowledge that it's not the most expensive, that it's actually in the middle, because it says like nationwide medical marijuana generally costs anywhere from $5 to $20 per gram per leaf well. Like $10 per gram, which is what they said that like Virginia sat at, and that's for at like a yeah like it was at $10.16 per gram for February of this year, and set to tick up to $10.19 for March when the dashboard updates like this week, or this past week or whatever. Like so this was like from a few weeks ago. Like $10, like yeah, that's way more than $2.50. But that's also them finding the cheapest possible weed anywhere. Like who is the absolute cheapest? Absolute cheapest. You know? Like you gotta have the reason why cannabis like ends up being like so regulated is because not necessarily because it's so much more difficult like to get a clean product, but just that it's like so much more hazardous if it's not. Like if we eat something, right, that has some issues, our body has defenses that will help us somewhat if we consume something that like isn't all that great. Like granted, if you continue consuming it over time, like a lot of the crap that's in most of the processed foods we eat, and like all this crap that's sprayed on there when if we're not properly washing it, yeah, this stuff has cumulative damage. But like the short term stuff, like eating it, like we deal with it like okay, like you're not gonna notice it so quickly. But with stuff that you like breathe, like yeah, oh yeah, like we don't have any like natural just straight up defense for like that type of stuff like for our lungs. Our lungs bypass a lot of like immune walls. Um, so we have to be mindful. You know, like you have to have like clean practices. You gotta know what you're doing. Um, man, you know, shoot. I just had like I got a little worked up for a second, and like this this hurricane like Zushi like you know like I feel like this hurricane Zushi was controlling like a nice like tuner like you know car like you know like doing some nice drifts through the mountain range, and I was handling it, y'all. And then I just took this turn, and I was feeling a little too saucy, and I spun out, and I totally like lost track of my thought. But yeah, yeah, I'm gonna have to look at my notes. Like, okay, yeah, that like so the oh yeah, so like the $5 to $20. Like, that's not like $10. Yeah, it might be twice as much as five, but it's still half as 20. It's right in the middle. Like that's not the highest in the country. Um, yeah, like so this is wild hype. It's like wild hype. But I think it's also trying to like prep the market for like a flooding of really cheap weed. Um, and to get people basically into this mindset that like cannabis should be cheap, right? Because most people have no real concept of like what goes into growing like quality clean weed. Um, so they want to try and like seize as many people on the cheap side as possible. So when you have like craft like growers out there, the small businesses who will be entering the theater next year, who are going to not be able to compete price wise with the largest cannabis producers out there, including Rise, Green Thumb Industries, but by and large will probably have better weed. Like, and that's the thing that we're gonna that's gonna like make or break the situation is it comes down to education. And right now this article, this bullcrap hype in this article is all about trying to give people a false narrative, a false bullcrap education, like that, like, oh, weed should be cheap, blah blah blah. No, your gas should be cheaper. Like, you know, our groceries like should be cheaper. Cannabis, like things that, like, you know, like we breathe, we bring in, like, we have the unfortunate like hurdle of coming into an industry of breathables that has been dominated by cigarettes for a long time. And cigarettes like are pretty much in this whole space of like it's just as bad as alcohol, like it's worse, like in a lot of ways. I mean, there's so many studies showing all the harms it does, that the idea that that a cigarette could possibly be healthy in any context is absurd, you know? Like so when we talk about like cannabis, like we kind of get and like in smokables with that, like we kind of get into this space where, like, you know, the people that consume it then know that it's good, and then like of those people you have the growers and the non-growers, and the non-growers just don't get it. I feel by and large, unless they make a concerted effort to get it, that clean weed like takes effort. And then you have, of course, that party is split up, but then you have the other side of the people that don't smoke either, and those people that they don't know, they don't care, and to them it's all like cigarettes, like, you know. So like it creates this weird space where like it's going to be really difficult for the proper education to get out there. um Quality cannabis is going to cost like $10, like a retail $10 like a gram, like doesn't sound crazy to me. $20 like a gram for retail when it's really like good quality does not sound like crazy to me. It like I mean, $5 a gram. I am like when it's reflective of the quality, like doesn't seem crazy to me. There should be price points for everybody. But when we're trying to create this whole narrative, like, oh well, California and Colorado had $2 weed and $3 a gram weed, and that should be the standard, right? Because that's what this whole article reads. The headline of this: Virginia medical weed prices rank among highest in the United States. right? And then the first thing they talk about it was $10 per gram and da 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 da. And then the second point is California $2 per gram. Like they're trying to create some concept of like look at that $8 difference. Like look at that huge difference. Like like we could do the same like the same thing with a lot of different like products to show some like weird like disparity, but like you're not showing the qualitative difference. It doesn't matter. That's like me being like, oh my gosh, shame on Frankie Rowland for having $80 steaks. Like because I found a dollar menu burger at McDonald's. That's a dollar. Frankie Rowland should be ashamed of themselves. Like $80 versus $1. Get out of here. Um, yeah, like it's crazy. That's crazy, right? Um, so yeah, this article, I would deem largely just hype and trying to seed the soil for a market that's demanding cheap weed, so the race to the bottom is quick. Um, when people really guys, I know we're in a tough time here, but better weed will go for longer, like and this isn't about just getting as hammered as possible, um but I mean, hey, maybe that's what people try and do. like let's just make sure that we have the right concept, the right perspective. Sorry if there was a bit of a click there. um Man. So yeah, that was those are the stories for today. Yeah, some wild stuff, y'all. And then of course for those of you guys who aren't in the know, the the entry period for the Diamond Cup with the Virginia Spring Fest has officially come to a close. So if you have not gotten your entry in, I'm very, very sorry. You will have to wait until the next competition that we do. Although I did hear talk that there could be a fall competition. I will make no promises as of now, but I'm just saying that then keep your ears on the ground and maybe you'll hear something. Um, and for those of you guys who did get entries in, I wish you luck. The entries have been distributed to almost all of the judges at this point. I have mine, and I am going to be beginning that process this week. I am entertaining, possibly even doing a bit of a live stream where I go through that first wave where I check out each entry to inspect for contaminants. But I haven't talked with the other event runners yet about that, if we want to go that route, if there's any pit holes or anything that might make that a not great idea or something. I don't know. Yeah, so there's a possibility. I'm very, very excited. I've already heard some people kind of being ooh, oh, some of these entries are getting people kind of excited. So very cool, very, very cool. And of course, this is all going to be for the Virginia Spring Fest coming up this May 2nd. Make sure to come check it out. It's going to be a great time, and also this year we're going to be doing it in conjunction with Mission DD420, a free event for veterans, and there will be camping for veterans as well. So if you're a veteran that's looking for some soulful peace, come on and check this out. And this is also this is an event that is done by veterans for veterans. And if you want more information on that, go into the Facebook group for the Virginia Spring Fest, or you can find out more on the website for Garrett Farms. Yeah. So like yeah, I hope to see like everyone there. I'm very excited for it. I'll be of course running the VIP experience again for this year. And of course last year was a huge hit. So of course this year like our tickets are if I'm not mistaken, completely sold out right now. There might have been one ticket left, but I'm pretty sure that if there is only one ticket left, like I'm going to be like grabbing it to maybe do a giveaway or something. Um, but of course, like it is also first come first serve on it. So if you if you beat me to it and call Robert Ian before I'm able to like to grab it and do something with it, then like I guess that's a boo boo on me. But like yeah, the race is on. All right, but yeah. I hope everyone has a great night. I am. Oh yeah, that's right. There's one last thing that I might be doing a lot more streams like coming up, and to the fact that like there might be a point in the next like month like or two where I like find myself doing like a daily stream because I have a lot of cultivars like right now to review, and I thought it might be cool to do like one of those like like daily stream like challenges where like I review like a different cultivar like every day until we like get through all of them or like until more come through and we just keep going. I don't know, but yeah, yeah. Right now I've got like 13 like like 14 maybe and I mean, it had nothing to do with like the competition entries. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun month. I got like 30 some cultivars to like review, like 40 some, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, that's life, and you know, gotta love it. All right, well, I hope everyone has a great night. Have a great week. Make sure that you are making time for yourself today, tomorrow, heck, every day, like if you can, because like you are like your biggest champion, and you're also like the first one, or maybe not the first one, but you're the one to know, like you know when stuff's going up. Um, so yeah, give yourself some grace. Yeah. Um, yeah. So this is Alchemist Ganjier, and hope you guys have an amazing like night. And yeah, peace.